When I sat down to draw on this day, I had intended on drawing a mandala, but I really was feeling a little bit lazy and didn't want to draw all the guidelines required to get started, so I started thinking maybe I could do some sort of deconstructed mandala. And so I just drew a bunch of wavy lines and decided that it looked like a mandala that got left out in the sun and had melted. So that's what we're doing today. We're doing a melted mandala using a lot of red after we get our black and white drawn. It was really fun. Probably looks a little more Zentangle than it does mandala, but I had a great time drawing it, and it was so fun just to relax and put designs in there, and it didn't really matter if they were perfect or symmetrical, and I really had a great time doing this. I decided to go with Sharpies this time. Usually I like to use the Micron pens, and originally I had thought I would do a lot of color in with the black and white, but the Sharpies end up having a much thicker line, so I ended up with pretty dense drawing, which I like, but it limited the way I could use the color in the design. So that was fine. That was a fun thing to discover in the process of creating this one. Now, if you're enjoying this video, I sure would appreciate it if you'd hit that like button. That lets YouTube know you're enjoying it, and they'll share it with more people. At this point, it's looking a little bit amoeba-ish, I guess. Could be anything you might see under a microscope there. And now it's time to add some color. Red was kind of the color I had in mind to use for today, and so that's where we started. I just put down a lot, used my Crayola Super Tips, put down a lot of pigment there, and then took the water brush and spread it around. At this point, I wasn't sure how I felt about it, so this was the time that I decided to go in and put some good red coloring inside the black and white. At this point in the project, I'm going through that thought process of, am I finished? Do I need to do more? And so I would just do a couple of steps, evaluate, decide if I wanted to do more if I thought it was finished, and just kept going like that. It's nice to know that you don't have to decide everything in the very beginning or have any idea in your head what the outcome is going to be like. You're just doing it for fun, and you keep going until you're done. Now, I thought this was kind of fun. This sort of made me think Dr. Seuss, kind of gave me a Dr. Seuss vibe. These little petals with the stripes in them. And so I'm not real sure how I feel about that washed out color with such the bold and sharp colors on the interior. So I'm trying to kind of mess around with that and see if I can do things to it that make me feel happier about it. And it kind of has, where it's washed out, looks kind of pink, and I'm not sure if I like the pinks and the reds together. So I'm trying to bring a little more red and a little more black into that outer area. It took me like 3 tries to find a Sharpie here that actually had enough go in it left to do the border around here. So one thing I did decide is that the exterior needed just a little bit of white as a nod to the white on the interior. So I'm using my white pen to outline a couple of those bands. And then decided to frame it up with a little more black. Here's all the supplies I used to create this drawing. Now YouTube's going to show you a video on the left and a playlist on the right. I hope you'll choose one. Thanks so much for joining me today.